My name is Brooke Mitchell, and for as long as I could remember, my parents called me Grandpa's charity project. Every Thanksgiving, birthday, and family gathering, my mother, Elaine, would laugh as she repeated the same line. Brooke's always been Dad's charity project. My father, Richard, would grin and add, someone had to feel sorry for her. After hearing it for years, I believed them. I thought I was the unwanted daughter who only mattered because my grandfather pitied me. But the truth was very different. My grandfather, Henry Mitchell, never treated me like a burden. He treated me like family. When my parents chased luxury vacations and exclusive dinner parties, Grandpa was the one who stayed beside me. He taught me to change a flat tire when I turned 16. When I needed emergency surgery to remove my appendix, he spent 6 hours beside my hospital bed, while my parents attended a winery wedding hundreds of miles away. Every important memory I treasured included him. My parents visited Grandpa only a couple of times each year, usually around holidays. Even then, they seemed more interested in discussing his house, investments, and antiques than asking how he was feeling. Once, I overheard them quietly debating how much his grandfather clock might sell for. Grandpa sat only one room away. Whether he heard them or not, I never knew. 3 weeks ago, Grandpa Henry passed away peacefully in his sleep at 81. The hospice nurse called me before sunrise. I collapsed onto my bathroom floor, unable to accept that the one person who had truly loved me was gone. His funeral was set for Thursday. The night before, I called my parents to confirm we were driving together. Instead, Mom sounded distracted. She claimed something important had come up involving a flight and promised they'd try to attend. They never arrived. I stood alone beside Grandpa Henry's casket as mourners quietly offered condolences and politely asked where my parents were. Too embarrassed to tell the truth, I simply replied that they weren't feeling well. After the service, I sat in my car, still wearing my black dress, scrolling through my phone without thinking. Then I froze. My mother's newest social media post had been uploaded only minutes earlier. She and my father were smiling on a white Caribbean beach, tropical drinks in their hands beneath the caption, "Living our best life." While Grandpa was being buried, they were on vacation. The shock left me numb. Just as I locked my phone, a text notification appeared. The sender made my heart stop. Grandpa Henry. His phone should have been locked away with his personal belongings. The message contained only one sentence. "Sweetheart, come to my house immediately." Certain it had to be some terrible mistake, I drove there anyway. When I reached the house, the porch light glowed. The front door stood slightly open. Inside, an unfamiliar elderly man waited calmly at Grandpa's kitchen table. A large manila envelope rested before him with my name written in Grandpa's unmistakable handwriting. The stranger introduced himself as Samuel Carter, Grandpa's attorney for nearly 3 decades. He apologized for frightening me before explaining everything. Months earlier, Grandpa had scheduled that text message to be sent after his funeral. He believed this night would become the most important moment of my life and wanted me standing inside the home he loved when the truth was revealed. Samuel slid the envelope across the table. Inside lay a handwritten letter and several legal documents. Grandpa admitted he had heard every cruel charity project joke my parents ever made. He stayed silent only to avoid tearing the family apart. But silence, he wrote, had never meant agreement. Grandpa's letter continued with words that brought tears to my eyes. He wrote that I had been the only family member who visited without expecting anything in return. I had quietly cared for him through chemotherapy 3 years earlier, honouring his request not to tell anyone. My parents never even knew he had been sick. Samuel explained that Grandpa had secretly rewritten his will 8 months before his death. He expected my parents to challenge it, which was why he wanted me prepared before the official court hearing. The following Tuesday, we gathered inside probate court. My parents sat across the aisle. Mom stared at the floor while Dad nervously adjusted his tie. Samuel read the will aloud. Grandpa left me the lake house, his savings, and nearly his entire estate, explaining that my years of loyalty, compassion, and constant presence deserved recognition. My parents each inherited exactly $1. Then the judge read Grandpa's final letter into the official record. He wrote that he forgave his son and daughter-in-law, but refused to reward people who confuse vacations with grief and cruelty with humour. Calling a granddaughter a charity project simply because she showed love was something he could never overlook. True family, he declared, was measured by who remained beside you during life's hardest moments. Dad exploded, insisting Grandpa had been manipulated and mentally unfit. The judge calmly presented independent medical evaluations, confirming Grandpa had been fully competent when signing every document. For the first time, my mother looked at me with what seemed like genuine regret. I said nothing. I didn't need to. Grandpa had spoken for me in a courtroom where his truth would remain forever. As I walked outside, I finally understood my worth. I had never been anyone's charity project. I had always been the person who truly showed up.